Hello everybody, thanks for joining. This was yesterday, your Wednesday period for most of you watching this. Look at this big potent system, major winter storm, sleet, freezing rain, heavy snow zone coming in multiple different rounds into portions of the Twin Cities and East, and then tornadic activity, severe thunderstorms into Indiana. Whew, definitely a winter time foray into blizzard conditions. Look at the setup here for your Thursday. We're pumping in widespread 80s and 70s well north, talking about a lot of 70s into Ohio, Pennsylvania, near New York City. There's your frontal boundary and major cold air to the west of this. This is very, very impressive, and that is why you have such a huge battle zone. The snow zone for Thursday morning, another round, about round 3, moving on through. Front moves through, cold air and high pressure drops on in, and we'll see this system push out across New England after dropping the snow and ice. There's your high pressure area, brief cold air in towards the south. Cold air, but now a system developing as we go into the Saturday time frame. Could be a little bit of snow, maybe even into portions of New York and in towards New England. Then big system developing again as we get into early next week, pulling in again a decent amount of warm air, snow in towards portions of southern Ontario, maybe a little bit of Quebec, and then we'll see a system develop out across portions of the west coast, maybe bringing a few snow showers in by the time we get into the middle of next week. So certainly snowfall accumulation still to go for portions of the northern tier with this storm, 5-10 inches or so at some isolated higher amounts. Total snowfall amounts topping out a good 10-15 inches in spots. You can definitely see between Montreal and Portland getting hit pretty hard. Let's bounce to the western side of the country because this is going to be pretty notable as well. 41-48 inches, lots of spots seeing a couple feet of snow in those higher terrain, just a lot of moisture returning back into the west with that trough. Wind chills, Friday morning, -20 in spots, near 0 all the way down into the Cleveland, Chicago area. Pretty cold into portions of southeastern Canada and much of the northeast, including the interior all the way to the coast. It gets pretty cold. Lots of temperatures feeling like to your skin below 10-15 degrees or so, and then we moderate a little bit. You can see that this pattern is going to be definitely indicative by some cold air coming down into the middle portion of the country and then east. But as we've been in this pattern, it doesn't last long. We build in some mild air again back behind it as we go into the weekend. We'll see that really rise northward into the central plains and push eastward. And then we get another batch of warmer air. So the cold is going to kind of stay bottled up north. It'll try to move on down, but we're just continually fighting these ridges of high pressure that are pushing it out of the way. So a little bit look at how that actually translates to your national temperatures, keeping the cold confined in the northwest and northern plains for the most part, pretty mild across much of the southern tier, and then the brief cold spell there Friday and Saturday far north, and then we really moderate again back to near 60 in Chicago. You have temperatures well into the 70s farther south again. That's translating to a dominant southeast ridge continuing to set up, so well above average temperatures, but enough cold air that's knocking on the door into the Great Lakes that it's going to be above average, but just by a little bit. The big time cold settles back into the west. That's why we have all that precipitation and the snowfall, because it's going to be pretty wet, plus you're getting those conditions that you're seeing, just multiple rounds of moisture. So it's going to overall stay wet across much of the country. It's a pretty active pattern over the next 6 to 10 days. Are we going to see any big time cold? Maybe by mid-March. Check back with us for that.